Hello everyone, welcome back to the POPSICLE KNIGHT channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video, hit the thumbs down if you don't, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. So for today, we'll be taking a look at Scolipede from the Chilling Reign set. Scolipede is a stage 2 dark type Pokemon with 160 HP. It has a retreat cost of 3 and it's weak to fighting. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Poison Sting. For 1 dark energy, it will deal 50 base damage, and it will poison your opponent's active Pokemon. And this attack sets up nicely for its second attack, Venoshock. For 1 dark and 2 colorless energy, it will deal 100 plus damage. And if your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned, this attack deals 220 damage instead, which is exceptional because it can one-hit KO most Pokemon Vs in the game. I'll be using a full set of Twin Energy to help power up this attack, along with 9 basic dark energy in this deck. I will not be using Orbital this time around because I really wanted to center the strategy of this build around that poison condition for increasing Scolipede's damage output, which requires the help of other non-stage 2 Pokemon. First, let's talk about what are some ways we can deal poison special condition to our opponent's active Pokemon. We already mentioned Scolipede's Poison Sting attack, but it is worth noting that this Poison Sting attack is available even from its pre-evolution. Venipede has this attack, and Whirlipede also has this attack. Another way we can poison our opponent's active is with the help of Garbodor with the Poisonous Puddle ability. As long as there is a stadium in play, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon poisoned. This is great for not having to use our turn to attack just to deal a poison special condition. And since Koga's Trap supporter card is still available, we can also use this to poison and confuse our opponent's active Pokemon. We also have Crobat V. While we are using this mainly for consistency to draw cards with the help of its Dark Acid ability, it also has the attack Venomous Fang, which for 1 dark and 1 colorless energy, it will deal 70 damage, and it will also poison your opponent's active Pokemon. We also have Toxicroak. While we are using this mainly for its more poison ability, which increases the poison damage between checkup by 2 damage counters, it also has the attack Poison Claws. For 1 dark and 2 colorless, it will deal 70 damage. Then you flip a coin, and if it's heads, your opponent's active becomes poisoned. While it's not 100% guaranteed that you will poison your opponent's active with this attack, it's available nonetheless. And finally, I'm also using the Dust Island Stadium. If either player's active Pokemon is already poisoned, and it is switched with a bench Pokemon using a trainer card, the new active Pokemon will retain the poison. So the only way to remove the special condition by switching without it being transferred to the new active is by hard retreating only. So this will help Scolipede to hit for more damage, especially if that poison continues to be on your opponent's active. As for the other Pokemon, I am using Snorlax for its Gourmandize ability. While it ends your turn, you can draw cards until you have 7 in your hand. And I also have Mew for its Bench Barrier ability. As for the item cards, I have Evolution Incense, Ordinary Rod, Quick Ball, a full set of Rare Candy, which is very important to evolve our Scolipede, and a couple of Switch. As for the rest of the supporter cards, I have Avery. You draw 3 cards, and your opponent will discard Pokemon from their bench until they only have 3 left. This can be very disruptive and can slow down your opponent. Perhaps this will help you to keep in pace with your opponent since the Scolipede setup is a bit slow, but this card is definitely replaceable. Next is Bead, which allows you to attach a basic energy from your hand to one of your benched Pokemon. This can be very helpful to quickly set up a new Scolipede after one of your Pokemon has just been knocked out. You can attach a Twin Energy on your benched Scolipede and use Bead to attach 1 dark energy, switch it into the active, and you'll be all set to attack. I have 1 copy of Boss's Orders, 2 Marnie, a copy of Pierce, which is great for searching out 1 dark type Pokemon, and any energy. This includes Twin Energy from the deck, and you put it in your hand. I also have Professor's Research, and finally I have Skyla, which can be very helpful in finding our rare candies or other trainer cards from the deck. This is a pretty straightforward deck. It's a very simple mechanic, but very difficult to execute for sure. The only problem you have to really watch out for are the matchups that can nullify poison special conditions, such as those that use Aromatic Energy, Impact Energy, Galarian Rapidash with the Pastel Veil ability, and others like these. But other than that, you should have a fighting chance against most matchups. And that's pretty much it. My deck list will be in the description below, but enough talk, let's see how this build works. Alright, so I'm gonna go first. And it looks like we got Venipede to start off with. Our hand is not looking great. We do have Twin Energy though. And looks like we're up against the water type deck, and they have Inteleon with a quick shooting ability. So we can hit, we can expect a lot of damage counters being hit on our side of the board. For now, I'm just gonna put an energy on Venipede and pass. Not much we could do here. Yeah, I was thinking of using Koga's Trap so that I can confuse Sobble and prevent it from using Call for Family. But they are using Ice Calyrex V, which makes this matchup very grim for me. I'm just gonna do my best. I don't think we can win this, but let's see. I'm gonna use Quick Ball, get a Snorlax. I'm thinking of just putting Twin Energy on Venipede, retreat, and use Gormandize. But you know, this Sobble, we do have poison. We can use Koga's Trap. I can actually just get an use Evolution Incense, get Whirlipede. We can actually use its Rolling Tackle attack for 50. So with 50 and Koga's Trap poison, we can actually knock out this Rolling Tackle, knock out this Sobble. So at least we'll be ahead in prize. And we get a Skyla, which is great. We can get a Scolipede, 320 damage. Max Lance will do 130 damage if they discard one energy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use Skyla, I think, and I'm just gonna use Quick Ball since we have Garbodor already. I'm just gonna get Trubbish so that we can poison our opponent's active. We just need a stadium in play. So with the Gormandize, we get a Scolipede, and they're not gonna be able to energize again. I'm just gonna evolve into Garbodor then, and then I'm gonna evolve into Scolipede. Unfortunately, I cannot retreat because I could use Koga's Trap and then hit for turn 20 with Scolipede. However, I cannot retreat, so I'm just gonna Marnie, and we don't get a switch. I only have 2 in this build. It is a very tight setup, so I'm just gonna attach an energy on Snorlax, and I'm just gonna Gormandize because we have access to Twin Energy. If I attach 2 energies on Snorlax plus a Twin Energy, we can attack with it in a clutch moment. So I'm gonna use every utility I have in this build to win against this VMAX. So we have Skyla. We can get a switch off of that, but we need to get poison. We need to be able to poison our opponent. So probably with Skyla, I'll have to use I'll have to get a Dust Island Stadium just so we can use Garbodor's ability. So with the Venipede, we get another one, so we'll put that in the bench, and I'm just gonna get a Dust Island, put it in play, and then I'm gonna just attach 1 energy on, you know, I'll put it on Snorlax just in case, because 100 damage goes a long way. I'm gonna go ahead and poison this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, and we got a Croagunk, which is good. That can potentially increase poison damage, which will make it easier for us to knock out this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. But the only thing is, okay, well, they're gonna replace our stadium, but you know what? We're not affected by that. The only one that's affected by it is Crobat. So we're not gonna waste our bench space or our move with that path to the peak in play. So now they're gonna be able to attack, but they'll have to discard an energy to knock out Snorlax. But I think the first attack, let's say I'm looking at a cheat sheet here. Ride of the High King, 10 plus damage, and it does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So we got 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah. 12 plus 10. It's exactly 130 damage against our Snorlax. So for 2 colorless energy, it will deal 130 damage without having to discard energy. For the meantime, I'm just going to attach an energy on this Venipede and start setting up our Toxicroak line. And we only have 1 copy of Whirlipede, so I really don't want to waste the Evolution Incense. I mean, we can Marnie and disrupt their hand, but it could also be helping them out. So I think I'm just gonna use Ordinary Rod. I'll do both. We can get Snorlax back into the deck and also our 2 energies. And should I use Marnie? You know what? I'm just gonna attack. Venoshock for 220 damage. Plus that poison, 250. So it has... We're at that point. We only need 70 more damage on this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. If they don't retreat back, they'll have to hard retreat to retreat back. Oh, they have air, they have air balloon with that Inteleon. So now they're gonna be able to retreat freely, remove the poison, but they can't. They have no other attacker unless they have another switch. If they have a switch to switch back, but if they attack our Scolipede, they'll actually need to discard the 2 energies to attack with Max Lance. If they use the Ride of the High King, they can't knock it out because they'll only be dealing 130. If they use Max Lance and only discard 1 energy, they'll only be dealing 130 damage, and we will survive with 10 damage even with that quick shooting Inteleon, dealing that 2 damage counter on our Scolipede. But they can retreat back and just attack with the new Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX that they are able to set up in the bench. But they're just gonna decide to attack with the one in the active. And they're gonna discard both energies to knock out our Scolipede. But with 70 HP left, 60 now, I could use a twin energy here. Oh, we got Piers. I'm just gonna evolve into Toxicroak. 60 HP. I can use Snorlax to attack. I'm really desperate right now. Let me just get another Croagunk and a twin energy. I mean, we get 3 prizes off of this, and if they knock out our Snorlax, it'll be fine. There's a stadium in play. I'm just gonna body slam to knock out this guy, and we paralyze, but it doesn't matter. It's knocked out. We get 3 prizes for that. So they have Path to the Peak Stadium. We can just poison this guy. We have Evolution Incense and Rare Candy, so we can set up a new Scolipede. And they're just gonna quick shooting our Garbodor. I don't think that's a good idea, but... And they're just gonna use Ride of the High King. We still have plenty of twin energies in the deck, so I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna put Venipede in the active. Poisonous Puddle for 3 poison damage against this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. I'm gonna go ahead and get Scolipede and evolve using the Rare Candy. And I'm gonna put Snorlax we're only losing one prize card each, so it's a good buffer to do that. And I'm just gonna Marnie. I'm hoping for a twin energy here. Ooh, we don't get it. We get another Toxicroak though, which is good. So now we can increase its poison damage by 5. We can stall. I'm thinking of just putting an energy on this Venipede, and I'm gonna poison Sting for 50. That'll be 100 damage. At the end of their turn, it's 150 damage, and that should be enough to, if they retain that poison damage, we have I can stall with Snorlax, put Snorlax in the active, Gormandize, hopefully we can find another rare candy, evolve, and if they retain that poison, we can actually win this game. Oh, but they're gonna Marnie. Okay, this could be good though. We still have 2 twin energies. Ooh, there's a twin energy. We need an evolution incense and a Scolipede though. I only have 3 Scolipedes in this build, so we are limited in our attacker, but it's enough. I think, in my opinion, it's enough because the setup is really rigorous with this. It's really difficult, and they're gonna knock out our Scolipede just by using Rider of the High King because we have a full bench. Unfortunately, we get Crobat. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the twin energy, and I'm gonna Crobat. Oh, don't! I forgot about the path to the peak. I'm just gonna use bead. I'm just gonna poison. They're already poisoned, but it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna Gormandize for 6. All right, don't. Forget that you saw that, okay? I'm sure you guys made the same mistake, so don't act all perfect like that's never happened to you before. You do forget about the path of the peak, and then when you do that, so that one move might be our losing move. We did fill up the bench, so they're attacking more with the Right of the High King, but you know what? Their Ice Rider Calyrex is at 200 damage, so all we really need to do is Poisonous Puddle and attack with Scolipede. We just need rare candy, but what are the chances that we're gonna get it? We have Avery, so we can draw into 3 cards. Oh, we got Professor's Research though. So the likelihood of us getting a Scolipede in a rare candy, I'm just gonna attach an energy on this Crobat. Actually, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX only has 70 HP. If we get a rare candy and a Scolipede, we get a Scolipede, but no rare candy, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna go out to win this game with Crobat. I'm gonna just retreat. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish this game with a Scolipede, which would have been awesome. I'm just gonna attack with Venomous Fang for the win against this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX deck. Oh, dude, that was a close one, but we made it through, so good game. Alright, so we're gonna go first again, and we only have Croagunk to start with. So let's go ahead and put that into the active. We have a few twin energies and 2 Scolipedes. Not a good start. That's the only thing about stage 2. It does fill up your deck with a lot of cards just so you can get to that stage 2 Pokemon, and it doesn't allow room for your other tech cards that you might really need, and it's really hard to kind of compensate or to switch out other cards, you know, for matchups that you may or may not even face in the ladder. So we do get a Venipede. I'm just gonna go ahead and attach a twin energy on it and go from there. Not much to go by here, and it looks like we're up against a Alcremie VMAX, and I'm thinking that they're okay. There it is, the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX deck. This is one of the most explosive decks in the format right now since the release of Chilling Reign. They're gonna Marnie us though. I don't mind that because our hand was terrible. So, we get a Professor's Research, and we can probably use that Quick Ball for a Crobat. But it's a little wonder that they started first, because common in a Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX is a Cresselia, which can energize. If you go first, going second, you can energize with 3 energies to one of your Pokemon. So they did that for their Alcremie. For the meantime, I'm going to use the Evolution Incense to get a Scolipede, attach 1 energy, and then use Rare Candy to evolve. Now we're ready to attack, and I'm just going to use Professor's Research because when you use Quick Ball, it's going to discard a card from your hand, so Professor's Research is better to go with that. For the meantime, I'm just going to pass. I put a Venipede in the bench. We can start energizing that as well. We have twin energies on our hand available, so, and our supporter cards are looking pretty good. We have Skyla to work with, and also Marnie, which can disrupt our opponent's hand and even get us cards that we need. They're gonna use Chaotic Swell. You know what, the Dust Island is good, but we are not reliant on it for a lot of our attacks. We probably just need to set up Garbodor to start poisoning, but they're gonna boss us order. Okay. Oh no, our Scolipede. Okay. Now I wish I had a Snorlax so that we can continue to draw. But they're just gonna Sweet Splash, but they're not gonna be able to knock out our Scolipede. They only did 100 damage, but you know what? Now that our Croagunk is out of the active, we can safely evolve it into Toxicroak. We just need to start poisoning our opponent. I'm just gonna use Evolution Incense. We don't have Whirlipede in our deck, so I'm just gonna opt out of it, and I'm just gonna use Avery. It's gonna force our opponent to discard 2 of their cards. Most likely they're gonna get rid of the Dene and probably Cresselia, because the Shadow Riders are too expensive to get rid of, but at least, you know, they're not gonna have any option with Cresselia, so that's one less Pokemon we have to worry about. But they have 1 card left in their hand, so I'm not sure what they have there. And I'm just gonna Poison Sting this Alcremie V. We have Skyla, so even if they knock out our Scolipede, we can evolve into another Scolipede. And while this Alcremie V is poisoned, we can just knock it out. But they're gonna switch. That was their last card, but they're gonna draw. They have nothing. Oh, but you know what? They're gonna use Shadow Mist, which disables Special Energy and Stadium. So we're not gonna play Stadium, but we already played Twin Energy, so we can still play regular energy on this Venipede. So I'm gonna use Skyla for now, and let's see. I think I'm gonna get the last Evolution Incense from our deck to get a Scolipede, and I can evolve our second Scolipede, and we can still attach a regular energy. And I'm gonna, if we use Venoshock, we won't knock it out, so I'm just gonna Poison Sting, still for 100 damage, but it's hitting for 30 poison damage this time around. So they need 3 energies to energize this Shadow Rider Calyrex V, so they won't be able to attack more than 10 damage, and all they have is energy retrieval. And they haven't evolved yet into the VMAX, which helps them to draw into cards, and they're gonna hard retreat. Okay, they're gonna hard retreat into Alcremie V, and they're just gonna Sweet Splash to knock out our Scolipede. But you know what? Even with just the base damage, we can knock out this Alcremie V, and without anything else in their hand, I don't think they'll be able to set up another attacker, so we can safely knock out this Alcremie V for 2 prizes. So we get a switch and a dark type energy from our prize. So you know what? We're not doing too bad with this matchup. I mean, we already made a good match with the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, and man, if we win against this other Chilling Rain mascot, man, Scolipede will just have left the mark. So they're gonna start energizing their Alcremie VMAX. It's the only one that's not weak against dark type on their build, but again, they are stuck with one card on their hand and it's not doing them any good. So I'm actually holding off on using Marnie because I don't want to give them any cards on their hands. So I'm just gonna attach one more energy on Venipede, and I'm just gonna Poison Sting this Shadow Rider Calyrex V on our opponent's active. So I mean, we can two-shot it with any of Scolipede's attack, but I think the poison damage is actually good. Toxicroak can actually help with attacking too. We can even just knock out the Shadow Rider Calyrex V if we energize it. So you know what, with the sequencing, I think I might just have to pass here and just not attack. I'll just put the twin energy on Toxicroak. So with sequencing, that poison damage just affected their Shadow Rider Calyrex, and with no switch, if they end their turn without attacking, their Shadow Rider Calyrex V will get knocked out, and we get a chance to attack the new Pokemon that they put in the active, most likely Alcremie VMAX. But they have a Marnie, so let's see if they have a switch here. But hopefully with the sequencing strategy that we have in place, we can get ahead with leaving a big mark or a big damage on their new active Pokemon. So let's wait for our opponent. They attach an energy and they're gonna pass. There it is. That poison will knock out their Shadow Rider Calyrex V, giving us 2 more prize cards, and most likely they're gonna switch into their Alcremie VMAX. So you know what, this poison strategy, this whole mechanic with the poison condition, it can be very very tough to deal with. So when you're against opponents that use it, so I'm gonna go ahead and use. Hold on, we can get a rare candy to evolve into another Scolipede. I'm just gonna attach an energy on Toxicroak for backup attacker. Use Skyla for rare candy. Let's see, we still have Koga's Trap, and because we'll need to poison, if only we can use Skyla to get Koga's Trap and then use it at the same time, we'll deal more damage. But for now, I'm just gonna use rare candy, evolve into another Scolipede, and let's see, 160, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they'll have enough energy to discard to knock out this Scolipede, but we can't hit for much without poison, so I might just have to sacrifice this Scolipede by using Poison Sting. But even if they attack, they'll lose all that energy, and with Alcremie not having any energy to attack, our other Scolipede we have set up in the bench will just be able to knock it out because it has 230 HP right now. The poison will take effect, and then we can hit for 220 damage, knocking out this Alcremie VMAX. So let's see what our opponent does. They have 5 prizes to go, and they're taking only 1 prize each knockout from our end. It's not looking good for our opponent so far, and also their Shadow Rider is weak against our dark type Pokemon. So they are able to set up their Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAXs in the bench already. So what they could do is possibly power up or put energies on a lot of their Pokemon. But again, if they don't retreat with this Alcremie VMAX, we only need 2 more prizes. 230 again with the poison. So let's see what our opponent does here. Oh, dude, they're just gonna attack. That's it. We win the game. What is this? Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm winning against top tier decks with Scolipede. What is going on? You know what though? To be fair, with the right strategy, they had really bad hand. They were depending on top deck. But still, I'm just gonna Professor's Research here. To have won with Scolipede, Venoshock for the win. This is epic, man. Scolipede against the Ice Rider and Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Good game. Alright, we're gonna go first again in this matchup. We're gonna start off with a Mew. We have a few options, but not on our first turn. Koga's Trap. We can't use Kyla yet, so let's see. Oh, we're up against the Kecleon. Let's see. I'm gonna just put an energy on Mew just because we can do it, and I can start doing chip damage on our opponent's Pokemon. But dude, you have a good deck. I wonder if he's using my deck. We'll find out. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and Marnie. That will reduce their hand to 4. We get a few basic Pokemon, which is good for setup. We get Croagunk and also Venipede. I'm gonna attach Twin Energy on Venipede, and I'm just gonna Psy Power. I think on. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and do it on Kecleon. Put 3 damage counter on Kecleon because. Snorlax can stay in the active, they can be trapped, they'll need a switch card. If they are using my build, because they're using Twin Energy, and there's a Peonia, so possibly they could be using my build, which is an honor. It's an honor to see someone playing my build, and I'm playing against my build. If I lose against my own build, I'd still be happy because that means my build is working. But I need to win against this. And you know what I've learned over, and there's Energy Search instead of Energy Spinner. So this could be my build. Anyways, what I've learned over the years is understanding your opponent's build. The more you know about your opponent's build, the more you can strategize and work around how you can win against that build. So they know exactly that we're weak against fighting, so they have the fighting energy. For the meantime, I'm just gonna keep using Psy Power, and I'm probably just gonna put damage counters on the second Kecleon, which will make it easier for us to knock it out even with just poison damage. Because if we can set up like 2 Toxicroaks, that will be 40 damage, and if we hit for 10 damage, we can easily knock out these Kecleons with damage counters on them already. So it's nice that we were able to set up our first Toxicroak, but it's not looking great for us. We could be relying on our top deck, so this is not good. Kecleon's gonna use Spinning Attack for 90. And unfortunately, Mew only has 60 HP, so they'll get the first prize. Oh, we get a Professor's Research. I can actually use Koga's Trap to confuse, but they could just retreat. So I think Professor's Research will be the best option here, and that draws us into more cards in our hand. We get a Quick Ball. I could possibly get a Snorlax off of that, but I'm gonna go ahead and attach an energy. We can use Venoshock. I can evolve this into Whirlipede. Let's see, I can discard, I think, Professor's Research. I'm just gonna get a Snorlax, so in case they knock out our Venipede, I'm just gonna Poison Sting. That will deal 70 damage now, so they'll have to hard retreat to get rid of that poison, but that will reduce their energy to attack. And if they knock out our Venipede, we can just switch into Snorlax and use Gourmandize to draw into more cards. So the only difficult part about this matchup is that we are exchanging one prize each only. I'm gonna avoid using Crobat V unless I need to use it, but I'm gonna avoid using it because they might get ahead in prize, but they're getting ahead already. They have 2 prizes already, and but you know what? That poison is gonna knock them out for our first prize card, and we get a Marnie. So this poison is helping out for sure, and it's still our turn. And I'm gonna go ahead and energize Toxicroak with Twin Energy because we can one-hit KO one of their Kecleon. Toxicroak will hit for 70 and possible poison for a total of 90 damage against their Kecleon. So we can hope for that. We can evolve now into Scolipede. We get another basic Venipede, and I'm just gonna Gourmandize. So we got pretty good cards off of that Marnie, and we get 2 new basic Pokemon to use. So we got Trubbish and also Croagunk for another line of Toxicroak, further increasing poison damage. So that's 4 poison damage between turns. Yeah, I mean, that will make a big difference for sure. The only Pokemon that is going to be hitting for weakness against our Pokemon is that one Kecleon. So you know what? With that Scroll of Skies, definitely seals it in. They are using my deck for sure. So all right, cool. So will I win against my own deck? That's the question. Let's see. We have Rare Candy. We can evolve into another Scolipede. Let's just set up these 2 basic for now. And then attach an energy on Venipede. Right? We can further thin out our deck. I can use Quick Ball. Probably get rid of one of the Rare Candy. We only need 1 right now anyways. Get a Snorlax. Hold on. Let's just use this Evolution Incense. And get a Toxicroak to increase poison, and then Gourmandize. So my deck, my Kecleon deck only uses 2 Marnies, so the chances of them having another Marnie is very slim. So I have confidence that they won't be able to shuffle back the Toxicroak that we just got. We have another Evolution Incense, so we can evolve into another Scolipede in our next turn. And the one with the fighting energy on it only has 60 HP. So we can even just hit it with Venipede and knock it out. We can get a price off of that. And they haven't set up the lightning energy. And they still have a lot of access. There's the lightning energy. So they won't be able to knock out our Snorlax because it doesn't have any energy on it. If they use Scroll of Skies, they'll have to use Twin Energy. Oh, they have Bead. Alright. So I think they need more practice with using this build probably. Okay, they're gonna switch. Alright. They're probably saving the one with the fighting energy against our Scolipede. So they're just gonna go ahead and attack for 90. not hitting for weakness against our Snorlax, but that will afford us another turn. We can evolve into Toxicroak, and let's see, what's the best option here? So if we knock out this Kecleon, they can attack us with the one with the fighting energy, but they're only dealing with one fighting energy, so finding it or getting it back so that they can hit our Scolipede for weakness is gonna be a little bit difficult. So for the meantime, I'm just gonna evolve into Scolipede, our second Scolipede, and I can just switch out. Actually, I can actually just utilize the poison damage from Toxicroak, so we're dealing 5 poison damage, and even with this poison sting, we can knock out this Kecleon, and we're just gonna attach another energy on our other Scolipede. So in terms of price exchange, we are a little bit even right now, and this Kecleon could just knock out our Scolipede. But they attach a lightning energy. You know what? With 1 energy on Scolipede though, it's not gonna be enough because they're only dealing 60 damage with 1 energy times 2, 120. It's not gonna be enough. Yeah, so our opponent just did the wrong math and they're just gonna retreat back and Gormandize. So yeah, if they had a twin energy, that would have been the best option to knock out this first Scolipede. They will have been ahead in prize, and the next few turns would be just finding the fighting energy again and just keep up with the price exchange, and they'll still be ahead. But you know, they just wasted a move and we could be ahead in price here. So for now, I'm just gonna use Koga's Trap with 5 poison damage on this Snorlax, and I could just switch into the bench Scolipede to knock out this Snorlax, but let's see, I could just poison sting for 50, and again I'm using the strategy of sequencing. If they can't switch out this Snorlax, it's gonna get knocked out. That gives us a prize, and then whatever Pokemon they put in the active, we can knock it out and we'll be ahead in prize. So again, the one move that you make a mistake on could cost you the game. Again, the price exchange between this one prizer decks, between these two one prizer decks, it makes a big difference with price exchange. So now all they could do was Gormandize. They lose 1 Pokemon. We're ahead in price already, and they're gonna put another Kecleon in the active, and I'm just gonna poison sting, and we're still gonna be ahead in price now. 2 prizes at that, and we get another prize, another dark energy. We have 2 attackers. That's all we need. Even if they knock out this Scolipede, we can bring in another Scolipede, which we don't even need poison to knock out a Kecleon. We hit for 100 damage. There's the the big damage, but again, that one move that they made a mistake on was probably the one that cost them the game. I'm just gonna use Avery to draw into 3 cards, and we're gonna get a rare candy. Wonder if we can set up another Scolipede. We do have rare candy, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put an energy on it, and I'm gonna just use Venoshock to knock out this Kecleon, and we just need 1 more prize after this. Just attack with Toxicroak. So there's our Garbodor. So we didn't have that in our deck earlier. They're gonna energy retrieval, probably gonna get the fighting energy, but yeah, even if they knock out this Scolipede, that's gonna be it. We can use our they're gonna Marnie. Okay, I was gonna say I was gonna evolve into Garbodor, poison for 5, and then just attack with Toxicroak or something like that, but Oh, I was gonna say we needed one dark energy to power up our Toxic Rook, but they they put in Viridian Forest, which will ultimately win us the game. But you know, for science, let me just use this. I'm gonna get Crobat, draw into more cards. I wanna see how else this deck works, because with my games I also experiment to see how I can improve it. Let me use Pierce, get Garbodor, and there's the Dark Energy. Even without Viridian Forest, we could have gotten it. So we'll just Poison, attach an Energy, and knock out this Kecleon, and that'll be game. Yeah. There you go. They scoop. Man, good game, man. Good game. Scolipede is an interesting card with an interesting mechanic to its attack. The fact that it's a stage 2 though make it slow and difficult to set up, and its Venoshock attack has a very underwhelming damage output, with a somewhat expensive attack cost of 3 energies, or 2 if you're using Twin Energy, and it will deal a bigger amount of damage only if your opponent's active is poisoned. But if you can get past all the rigorous setup, the awesome tech that comes with dealing poison damage is fairly good in the current format. But the sad thing is that some of them will soon rotate out, such as the Koga's Trap and the Dusk Island Stadium. One change that I would make with this current build is probably swap Avery with Flannery. That way you can discard an Aromatic Energy or Impact Energy, which nullifies any poison on its user, but with other matchups you should be able to do fine. Overall, I would say that this Scolipede and this deck is just okay, and I think the base to this build was well represented in this video. But if you're up for the challenge, or you just want to try this out with your friends, then I think this is a great budget deck that you can use for fun. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.